Daenerys Targaryen, the mother of dragons, breaker of chains, and the unburnt, was a formidable force to be reckoned with. She had the charisma, the courage, and the conviction to lead an army of freed slaves, Dothraki warriors and loyal followers to conquer cities and kingdoms alike. Her ultimate goal was to reclaim the Iron Throne, the seat of power in the 7 kingdoms of Westeros, which she believed rightfully belonged to her family. However, as we all witnessed in the final season of Game of Thrones, Daenerys' quest for power came at a terrible cost. She fell from grace and ultimately met her tragic end. But why did Daenerys fall? Well, to understand Daenerys' downfall, we must delve into her past and the events that shaped her character. Daenerys was born into a family of exiled Targaryens who had been overthrown in a rebellion years ago. She grew up on the run, always in fear of being hunted down and killed by her enemies. She had lost her parents and her brothers, and her only surviving family member was her abusive and manipulative brother, Viserys. He sold her off to a Dothraki warlord called Drogon, in exchange for an army to reclaim their throne. Daenerys was forced to marry Khal Drogo, who initially treated her like a possession rather than a wife. However, over time, Daenerys learned to assert herself and gain respect from her husband and his followers. She also hatched 3 dragon eggs, which further cemented her status as a powerful leader. Daenerys' journey towards reclaiming the Iron Throne was not an easy one. She faced numerous challenges and setbacks, but she never lost sight of her goal. She freed slaves, toppled cities, and made allies along the way. However, as she got closer to her ultimate goal, she became more ruthless and uncompromising. She saw herself as a savior, a liberator, and anyone who opposed her was labeled as an enemy. She became increasingly paranoid and distrustful, and her once compassionate nature gave way to anger and violence. In the final season of Game of Thrones, Daenerys faced her toughest challenge yet. She had lost her trusted advisor, Jorah Mormont, and 2 of her dragons in the battle against the Night King. She had also learned that her claim to the Iron Throne was not as clear-cut as she had thought, with Jon Snow, her lover and nephew, also having a claim to the throne. She felt alone and vulnerable, and her enemies were closing in on her. In her desperation, she made a fateful decision to attack King's Landing, the capital city of Westeros, with her remaining dragon and army. The attack on King's Landing was devastating. Daenerys unleashed her full fury on the city, burning buildings, killing innocent civilians, and showing no mercy. It was a stark contrast to the Daenerys that we had come to know and love, the one who had freed slaves and fought for justice. The people of Westeros were horrified, and so were her closest advisors. Tyrion Lannister, her Hand of the Queen, had been urging her to show mercy and compassion, but his advice fell on deaf ears. In the end, it was Jon Snow who had to make the impossible choice of killing Daenerys to save the realm. So why did Daenerys fall? Well, some might argue that it was her destiny, that the Targaryen bloodline was cursed with madness and tyranny. Others might say it was a result of her upbringing, her traumatic past, and her thirst for power. In the aftermath of the final battle for the Iron Throne, the 7 kingdoms lay in ruins, and the future of Westeros was uncertain. Daenerys Targaryen, the mother of dragons, had perished in the flames of King's Landing, leaving behind her 2 last remaining children, Drogon and Jon Snow. The Dragon Queen's death had sparked a wave of unrest throughout the realm, with factions vying for control of the Broken Kingdom. In the midst of this turmoil, a new hero was about to rise, one who would become the greatest dragon rider that the world had ever seen. Jon Snow, the former Lord Commander of the Night's Watch, had fulfilled his destiny by slaying the Night King and saving the realm from the threat of the White Walkers. But even as he stood amidst the ruins of King's Landing, his heart was heavy with the knowledge that he was not truly a Stark, but a Targaryen, the rightful heir to the Iron Throne. Despite his reservations, he knew that the time had come for him to claim his birthright and rule over the 7 kingdoms. But first, there was a matter of the dragons. Daenerys' children were the last of their kind, and they needed a new rider to guide them through the tumultuous times ahead. But who would this be? Unfortunately, we couldn't find out before the series ended. So what do you think about a new dragon rider? Is it even possible? That question will be answered in the new series to be released later this year. Jon Snow sequel, so stay tuned for it. Please share your comments below, and if you want to enjoy more insightful content like this, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and stay tuned for more. Thank you for watching.